Hello, good evening. I hope all is well with you guys. I'm Shantae. For those who are watching for the first time, those who know me, I'm Shantae. And I'm here with my analysis today on 7/7/20. I believe it's my grandfather's birthday. He would have been 97, I think. But there's speculations of his birthday this time and that time. But hey. So I'm here with some stuff today. Listen, not too much of a jam-packed day, but hello. I'm always started with the coronavirus because we're still in the midst of this. And as much as civil unrest is going on, the coronavirus is still here, apparently. And some people said it was going to go away back in February. Well, we're in the middle of July almost, and it's here. So I'm just going to start with some numbers. I get my numbers off the Johns Hopkins website, and I also go on the, what's that website? I also go on, New York Times or Washington Post. If you have the New York Post, you can subscribe and get it for free. So, COVID-19, so globally we had 11,798,808 cases of COVID. So let's read that again. Globally, 11,798,808 cases of COVID. So 11.7 or 11.8 almost. In the U.S., we account for a fourth of it. We're at the highest cases on the globe with not the so big population. We had 2,994,776 cases of COVID-19. And as of from CNN today, we saw 58,146 new cases of COVID reported, and that is between the South and the West. So here at home, we're not doing so great containing this virus. Brazil, I'm going to get to Brazil in a minute because Brazil sees a case of 1,668,589 cases of COVID-19. India, 719,664. Russia, 693,215. Peru, 300,278. Chile, 301,019. And the UK at 287,008. For your Latin countries. Oh, Panama. What's going on, Panama? 40,291. I'm shocked with all the black people there. I hope everyone's okay. Dominican Republic, 38,430. Guatemala, 24,787. Honduras, 24,665. El Salvador, 8,307. African countries, I have some. It's a lot. Nigeria, 29,789. Ghana at 21,968. Cameroon at 14,607. They actually went up. I think yesterday they were sitting at 12,592. So that's like 2,000 cases up in Cameroon. What's going on in Cameroon? Kenya at 250. Senegal is at 7,547. So that's Senegal. Now to the West Indies. I haven't reported on Haiti, but let me just see about Haiti. I got my iPad in front of me today. So Haiti is looking, I think last time I checked it was in the 6,000s. So let's see where Haiti is right now. Haiti, oh God. Well, I don't see the numbers popping up. Oh, I do see Haiti. Haiti's at 6,371. 6,371 cases of COVID, followed by Guyana at Jamaica, 745. The Diamond Princess is still sitting at 712. Guyana is at 284. Trinidad is at 133. Bahamas is sitting at 104. Barbados is at 98. Antigua still sitting at 70. Belize at 30. St. Vincent still sitting at 29. Grenada still sitting at 23. St. Lucia's at 22. And Dominica at 18. Now, here in the States, I got some couple. Of course, if you live in New York is the highest still, but the curve is flattening. It's at 402 and 928. California is at 287,670. Yesterday, I believe, California was at 277. So their cases went up by like 10,000. Texas is at 218,832. Yesterday, Texas was at 208,959. So they about 10,000 up. Florida is at 213,786. Yesterday, they were at 206,439. So they're about like 7,000 cases up. But their hospital beds, is at 56% fill up capacity, and it's going to get even worse. New Jersey still sitting at 175,734. Arizona is at 105,000 cases at 133. Yesterday there was at 101,519. I think they went down. No, they went up by like 4,000 cases. Georgia is at 93,707. Yesterday there was at 91,015. So, COVID is real. And the Brazilian president, let me get his name right. What's that man's name? Because I always write down my stuff. Jair Bolsonaro, I'm jacking up that name, has been tested positive for COVID-19 according to the CNN article, months after he downplayed the seriousness of this virus. He took a COVID test on Monday and he was feeling fine, he said on Monday. Then the next day he had a 38 temperature on Celsius because they operate on Celsius. In America, we operate on Fahrenheit. So when we have 38 degrees Fahrenheit, that's cold for us. 38 degrees Celsius for them is hot. It's like over the top because they kind of operate in negatives. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they do. He was feeling tired. He had muscle pains, and he announced on Brazilian TVs, quoting him, "Everyone knew that it would reach a considerable part of the population sooner or later, and it was positive for me." His wife also was tested for COVID-19, but we don't know what her symptom is. We don't even know if she's tested positive for COVID-19. And please keep in mind, I always say Brazil has the second highest cases. They have about like over 65,000 deaths, like 66,000. Let me see if I got the correct number. I always go on the Johns Hopkins website. So let's look at this. So Brazil has 66,741 deaths. And this is recorded as of what time on here? Can I scroll up? As of 9:57 p.m. And he has often appeared in public, the same president. He's like the Brazilian Donald Trump. So let's just say that. He appeared in public without no mask. He was hugging people at some rallies, his supporters. Like, dude, why are you hugging people? It's the coronavirus. What are you doing? That's how, like, you know, you have the second highest cases. You got like almost 1.7. And he also said that he was doing a video meetings going forward and not meeting people in person. And then you're showing up to meetings without no mask too. Like you showing up at events with no mask on. Who that sound like in America? He also criticized the lockdowns, and he said it will hurt the country more than the virus itself. Really, dude? Like Trump, he has boasted about the malaria drug hydroxychloroquine. Chloroquine? He is the Brazilian Trump. He's the Brazilian Trump. And as a potential drug to treat the virus. So I feel bad for the people in Brazil. I know some folks that were in my class back in elementary school. They 2 twins from Brazil. So they're probably criticizing the Brazilian president like crazy. I would too. Like, you're putting your citizens at risk, like Donald Trump is putting us at risk. The South and the West are seeing crazy, and the United States are seeing crazy amount of coronavirus cases. Brazil, also these like India. What the hell is going on with India? We know Putin is an asshole in Russia. Like, we know Boris Johnson is stupid, but you know he has the highest cases in Europe because Spain and France had horrible cases, and it seemed like their cases been flattening because they did a whole nationwide, whole countrywide shutdown, unlike Brazil and unlike us. Like, come on. That's what I said. You have to take COVID seriously. And speaking of more of these Republicans, so Trump had like a round table today. I'm about to get into the World Health Organization thing because I was stupid too. That he wanted to reopen schools. So Pence said this: 47 governors, including the U.S. territories that he spoke to today, have all announced to reopen schools. Where's the plan to reopen schools? Because Governor Cuomo did not announce anything today. Even the man didn't really announce anything. He announced that his school's going to partially reopen, but he might get complaints. They might shut that shit down and continue remote learning. Excuse me. He said it's also important to do for a variety of reasons. To be concerned about children's failing behind academically. How are they failing behind academically unless they're just stupid? Or they have a disability. If you have a disability, people with disabilities still learn at a good amount of rate. That's bullshit. My sister had a disability. Come on. A learning disability at that. And he said there is no substitute in classroom learning. In-person classroom learning. And claims there's social costs, emotional costs, and physical costs to children across America. It's important, he said, to open our schools for academic and intellectual development for our children. But virtually important. He said 7 million American children suffer from mental illness or emotional disturbance, receive services from the mental health services and also health services in the school. We all know this is a politically driven conference. They only invited friendly people that's friendly of Donald Trump and Pence. No actual governor will sit there with that bullshit. I know my Governor Cuomo will not even sit there and entertain that shit. And even competent Republican governors like Governor Hogan and I think Governor Baker in Massachusetts won't even hear that bullshit. So like, let's get real. This is a political stunt. This is all to get brownie points for re-election. And speaking of more brownie points for the re-election, Donald Trump moves to informally, according to The Hill, to remove us and withdraw us from the World Health Organization. The same organization that provides us materials and guidance to get a vaccine, proper therapeutics, and get suggestions. Because you feel like they mislead you and misguide you because of Wuhan. China was dishonest about their own shit. Like he said, according to The Hill, the White House has officially withdrawn the U.S. from the World Health Organization, a senior official confirmed on Tuesday. The U.S. submitted its withdrawal notification to the United Nations Secretary General, an official said today. The withdrawal requires a 1-year notice, and this will go in effect until 2021. That might not even go in effect at all, because by 2021, we pray to the Lord in the heavens above if everybody turn out and vote, if Joe Biden picks the right VP, that this won't happen. And this will get rescinded real quick, along with other policies that Donald Trump had. However, there's a possibility that it could be reversed, like I said. Also, Democrats and even one Republican senator has criticized him. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey tweeted and said Trump's response to COVID chaotic and incoherent doesn't do justice. This won't protect American lives or interests and leaves Americans sick and America alone. Donald Trump wants to make us an isolationist country. That's what he wants. Like, let's get real. Also, Senator Lamar Alexander, surprisingly, the Republican senator from Tennessee, aka the good Republican. Yeah, but you voted to acquit him for impeachment. Said in a statement, I disagree with the president's decision. Certainly, there needs to be a good, hard look at the mistakes the World Health Organization might have made in connection with coronavirus. But the time to do that is after the crisis has been dealt with, not in the middle of it. I understand his sincerity, but Lamar Alexander and the rest of them, they're full of shit. Also, many conservatives argue, like I said, about how it was harboring pro-China biases, but that's not true, because if you think about it, China was the one that was not honest about this pandemic going on and experiencing other things. True. And overall, a president of the Infectious Diseases Society named Thomas Fowle Jr. says abandoning our seat at the table leaves the U.S. out of the global decision-making to combat the virus and efforts to develop and access vaccines and therapeutics, leaving us more vulnerable to COVID-19 while diminishing our position as a leader of global health. A lot of countries look up to us as a leader of global health, our military, our economics, our education, our infrastructure, and etc. But when they see fools like Donald Trump representing us on the main stage, on the global stage, we look dumber than what we portray to be. Like, this is bad. This is like really, 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 really bad for our country. And I know a lot of people like, Shantae, why you talk about politics so much? Why you talk about this? Because all of this I've been saying, I was right. I may have said it in a more ratchet, more like, whatever context, but I was right about all these things of what a Donald Trump administration will look like. And it's looking like this. But I would never thought it will result to a pandemic where Donald Trump does not care about American lives. Like, I just don't get it. And also during this pandemic too, there's evictions. Black people are seeing evictions at an alarming rate. According to the Washington Post, black renters will be hit 10 times hard as protections expire. As of September 30th, 110 million Americans living in rental housing, 20% of them are at risk of evictions. And this is all according to a group of the COVID-19 Eviction Defense Project. And I think in Colorado. Texas is like evicting people like left to right. The judge is nasty. I think her name is Judge Williams. She's just nasty. Basically talking to people in a video conference as people sitting in the dark in their house. Begging you to give them more extra time because they don't have the money. And some of them can't even get unemployment. Like one lady, I think it was one Hispanic lady, was calling the unemployment office hands down, and she didn't even get her stimulus check neither. She didn't get her stimulus check. And she was calling, and it was a busy signal. Like, people are facing evictions left to right, and this man don't care. He don't give a damn. So, this is exactly why voting matters. Sitting out an election because you don't like a candidate, you will have more of this and 10 times worse. Like, our country will probably burn to the ground behind this. And I'm afraid. And I don't have children in this world, but if I had kids in this world, how would I explain this to them? I don't even know. And then you have Republicans still downplaying it, like Ron Johnson's stupid ass, talking about we overreacting. If we overreacted, why ask Donald Trump, why did you deny? If we're overreacting, I can't even think about why we're overreacting. Can't even find the sentence of why we're overreacting. I said we're overreacting, then why are 130 something thousand people are dead? That's what I was looking for. Why is 130,000 people dead? Over. Why is almost 3 million cases? Why we didn't get test kits from the World Health Organization? Why? Anybody know? Somebody? Anybody? Until then, we will never know. But getting to the politics of stuff, I guess somebody heard about the book that is Mary Trump, Trump's niece, Trump's eldest brother's niece, is a clinical psychologist, and she has a book. Her book is good. I got to get the book, but some excerpt of the book is good. She has a book called Too Much and Never Enough: How My Family Created the World's Dangerous Man. She writes in parts of the book about her memories of her family members told her, others, and also finding legal documents and bank statements and etc. And there are important quotes in the book, and a couple of them stuck out to me. She said, Donald Trump showing a blatant display of sociopathic disregard to human life. In terms of the coronavirus, though, it's being played out. She also exposes him with his real estate business and even his time on The Apprentice, which is true in the book. And then her father, his name is Freddie Trump, who died from complications with alcoholism, described Trump in the way that he handled in the book. Like, he basically disrespected and disregarded his brother. And then she quotes him and saying, the only reason Trump escaped the same fate as her father is that his personality served his own father, Fred Trump, purpose. And that's what makes sociopaths do. They co-opt others and use them towards their own end, ruthless and insufficiently, with no tolerance for dissent or resistance. And we all know that's true. Donald Trump is a con man. A con man. We all know that's what con artists do. But the SAT part that I'm about to get into. The claim of SAT test, she mentioned in the book that Trump was worried about his GPA, which put him from the top of the class. Oh God, I wrote this all messed up. Basically, he's stupid. He paid someone for his SAT score because he was going to Fordham. I don't know how he got into Fordham, because Fordham to me is prestigious. And then he went to to the UPenn, the Wharton School of Business, which is like the number one school of business as of the U.S. top colleges for undergrad. Because I'm just like, before he ran, when he had his businesses and when he was on The Apprentice saying get fired, I was like, somebody like that, talk like that, and they went to the Wharton School of Business? Really? But if you're from New York and New Jersey, you already knew that Donald Trump was dumb. The whole world is starting to know that Donald Trump is dumb. But people from New York and New Jersey, mostly northern New Jersey, and the city of New York knew that Donald Trump was dumb. The man couldn't even hardly talk when he was at a press conference long time ago. The way he ran his businesses, he needed help because he couldn't do all this stuff on his own. And all the transactions he made with the mob, these guys from the mob went to jail. He didn't want to give them back their money. He was getting ready to get killed. His father had to save him through everything. So that's what his niece is talking about in the book. She's also a psychiatrist. So I mean, she know her uncle. She know her uncle. But enough with the Trumps. Tom Steyer is good news. Tom Steyer has joined as a co-chair for the Biden and Bernie Sanders advisory team so they could create policies. So once Biden gets in there, he will have all these policies. And some of these people that work on the advisory council, some of them might be employed or might be in the administration. We know Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's a Bernie surrogate, who is also... he does act dumb, Donald Trump. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is on the advisory board. I think another Bernie person, also Marsha Fudge of Ohio. I think Jayapal, Rokana. It's a couple other, there's some big names there. And Tom Steyer just been added to the list. He's the co-chair for the climate and the environmental. Let's read it. The climate is the co-chair of the Climate and Engagement Advisory Council, the Biden and Sanders. Because Biden and Sanders are working together. There's a possibility, in my analysis, this is my opinion, it's not a fact, that Bernie might be in the administration. Bernie might be the Secretary of Labor. I can see him being the Secretary of Labor because he always talk about the $15 minimum wage. He has a detailed economic plan. I just didn't like the people that rolled with him, that worked for him, some of them. But other than that, Bernie Sanders is good on policy. I can see, who else? Susan Rice as the Secretary of State. I can see Cory Booker as his HUD secretary. And of course, my girl can be his VP. And for those who don't follow me, y'all know KH can be his VP. But a lot of the people that he ran with in the primaries, they can all be on his administration. Like Jane Inslee as a secretary as an EPA administrator, because Scott Pruitt sure enough sucks. Who else? Elizabeth Warren, either Treasury Secretary, because Steve Mnuchin is stupid. Who else? Julian Castro. He can do so many things within the administration, either education, either HUD, maybe Cory Booker. It's so much up in the air. We don't know with that position. Amy Klobuchar as the UN ambassador. I can see her being a UN ambassador. She seems real competent. Buttigieg can be an ambassador for another country, and who else? As the Secretary of Defense, Tammy Duckworth. There's a lot of from Democrats and different spectrums of the ideology can all work in the Biden administration. It'd be like the Obama administration halfway again. But President Obama ain't gonna be working in there. President Obama gonna be sitting there chilling like a villain, making sure his kids go to college and run that Obama Foundation. Him and Michelle, because they don't want to work back in government again, and I don't blame them. But that I'm ending on the happy note. So as I said to folks, be aware, be smart, be vigilant, wear your mask, wear your gloves, and don't downplay this virus. Don't. You'll end up like the president of Brazil, and it's not funny because he almost, and he's in a high risk age group. He's 65 years old, over 65 years old. He could have been in ICU. It's serious, very serious. So I'm telling everybody, be vigilant, be smart, and stay safe. Have a good night.